Hello everyone, Speedrunner 0-18 here, and welcome back to episode 19 of the Pokemon Speedrun Analysis series. In the last episode, we did Moltres in Pokemon Yellow. In today's episode, we'll be seeing how fast Swinub can beat Pokemon Leafgreen after intense routing and grinding. Swinub is the first stage evolution to the Pillow-Swine line in this game, and then starting in Gen 4, the Mamoswine line. This thing looks like a cute little mouse thing, but how well and how quickly can it beat Pokemon Leafgreen? Let's look at its stats. These are not good at all. Its best stats are attack, speed, and HP at a measly 50, while the defense is 40 and the special stats are 30. And seeing how in Gen 3 ice moves are special, this doesn't work too well for Swinub. Looking at its move pool by level up, we start with Odor Sleuth, one of the most useless moves in my opinion. It allows ghost types to be hit by normal and fighting types, but who cares when we have ice and rock moves? Also, it can ignore the opponent's evasion stat changes, but I really don't think it's worth keeping on the moveset. Via TMs though, some notable moves we can get are Ice Beam, Blizzard, Earthquake, Dig, and Rock Tomb. Early on, Rock Tomb may help against the flying types or just give us more power points, but we'll see as we get into the run. Before we get started, if you happen to like this series and would like to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot to me on our journey to 1,000 subs. Also, feel free to join the Discord server, support me on Patreon, or check out any of my other socials. Links are in the description. Now, let's get into the run. 3, 2, 1, go! Let's begin with the usual rival fight. Tackle is our only way to victory, but with our bad defense stat, this fight can go either way, but I win the first try so we can move on. While we're doing the parcel crap, I want to talk about the kind of Swinub we went with. I made Swinub a female since most of the difficult enemies in the game use male Pokemon, plus any Pokemon that know Attract, like Lorelei's Jinx, are female, so we're immune to that stuff. I also gave Swinub the hasty nature, which is plus speed and minus defense. I really did not want to lower our attack stat, speed, or our special defense, since lots of late game attackers are special attackers, so I felt this is the best nature to go for. Now, let's resume the run. In the Viridian Forest, I defeat every trainer for experience. In order to battle Brock, I need the move Powder Snow, a 40 base power ice move which Swinub gets at level 10. However, the bug catchers with Weedle on their team, I actually saved before, since if I get poisoned early on to Poison Sting, I have to reset the run since I can't use antidotes during battle. Rules are in the description, by the way. But that ends up not mattering, funnily enough, since the bug catcher with the 2 Caterpies ended up defeating me with a critical hit tackle. And I end up fighting the final bug catcher with multiple Weedles, again. Well, that sucks. Even after fighting all the trainers, Swinub isn't a high enough level, so after defeating a few wild Pokemon to get the last bit of experience to level 10, I go to Brock's gym, spam Powder Snow on the Light Years trainer, and then spam Powder Snow on Brock. These 2 fights are really easy with this move, and I achieve a Brock split of 11 minutes and 17 seconds. After Brock, I heal at the center, go to the mart to buy my usual potions, antidotes, paralyze heals, and repels. While yes, I can't get hit with electric moves, but the static ability still affects ground types. On Route 3, I do the rare thing and fight everybody, except the Jigglypuff last since her RNG with Sing is brutal if it goes against me. Swinub is a very weak Pokemon, so all this training is necessary for the next rival battle. I have to be a minimum of level 23 so I can 2-hit his Pidgeotto and avoid all those sand attacks. In Mount Moon, after I heal at the center and get the Persim Berry for Misty, I battle a ton of trainers in here. I battle almost every trainer in here except for the last near the sign at the entrance for similar reasons to the Route 3 last, but replace Jigglypuff with a Clefairy. So since you know the gist of what's going on here, let's just skip straight ahead past all the optional trainers, Super Nerd, and go straight to Cerulean City. I'm in no ways ready to fight Misty due to my weakness for water moves. I heal at the center, get the rare candy, grind in the grass on wild Pokemon from 19 until 23 since there are not enough trainers, and I fight Rival 2. On Pidgeotto, I use 2 Powder Snows. The first one gets a freeze, which is really nice. and from there I knock out the rest of his team with ease. Charmander can be tricky with Ember, but Rock Tomb makes good work of him. Now, it's time for the Route 24-25 Gauntlet of Trainers. The trainers here were very easy due to my level being way higher than theirs, and I have a Stab Ice move against the Grass and Flying types here. I do get the Pecha Berry while here, since without the Sevi Islands or Pickup, I only get 2 Pecha Berries in the entire game. In this run, I do get the TM for Secret Power, which involves fighting an extra trainer, but it's worth it for a better physical move than Tackle. Then, with Bill rescued and Ticket obtained, I delay Misty even further by going down to Vermilion City. When I arrive, I heal at the center and get the Versus Seeker for later. I also go to the mart early, sell the Nugget and the Star Piece I got in Mount Moon guarded by the optional Rocket Grunt, and I buy Super Potions and Repels. I then get on the SS Sand and battle every single trainer on the SS Sand. I need all the experience I can get, especially for Rival 3's Pidgeotto, and Misty as well. So let's get on to the grind. Once all the trainers on the ship are defeated, I defeat the rival with ease. But I do get 1 reset at this fight due to missing 2 Rock Tombs in a row, allowing me to die to Ember spamming from Charmeleon. But I do win on the next try though. After getting cut from the Seasick Captain, I leave the ship and get the bike voucher, and run all the way back to Cerulean City. I cannot delay Misty any further. Before the fight, I teach Swinub the move Dig over Rock Tomb. This move is our most powerful physical move at this point because of Stab, and can 1 hit the Staryu and 2 hit the Starmie, and Water Pulse retaliates and does so much damage, but with Dig hiding me underground, I can defeat Misty first try. With Misty finally defeated, I get the bike and do the Route 9 Rock Tunnel Gauntlet. It would be a waste of time to run back to Surge right now, so I better delay him until I get Fly. The Wrapping Last provides no issue thanks to Secret Power for the Bellsprout and Dig for the Oddish, since it can survive a Secret Power. Besides her though, everyone else was very easy. But before we can skip straight to Celadon, I use the Move Tutor to teach Rock Slide to Swinub. This is our best rock move, so we'll be keeping this the entire run. So now, let's skip to Celadon City, where I heal at the center and I go to Erika's gym. I don't enter the hideout yet since Giovanni's Kangaskhan is unbeatable at the level I currently am, so I do this part first. But while in Erika's gym, I fight everyone except for the Cool Trainer due to how many of her Pokemon can poison me and cannot be one-hit, as well as Erika. I go in here just to defeat the trainers for experience. Once the gym trainers are mostly defeated, I get the Fly HM and then backtrack through Saffron City and enter Vermilion. With Dig, Surge is just a joke. Now, after this time, I finally enter the Rocket Hideout. I get the PP up just outside of the game corner first, and then go in. I get the PP up in the Rocket Hideout as well as the usual Max Ether, Rare Candy, and Calcium. The grunts in here were pretty easy, so let's go to Giovanni. As stated before, the hardest Pokemon on his team is Kangaskhan due to its insane bulk, and Tail Whip and Mega Punch is quite a deadly combo. On Giovanni though, his Onix and Rhyhorn go down to Powder Snow, and on Kangaskhan I just spam Dig, so that way every other turn I'm underground. But I live on red health, but I still win the fight. This is why I needed those levels, that could have easily have been a death. I then dig out of the hideout and go shopping. Besides the usual super repels, today's Vitamin of the Day is actually 2 vitamins. Vitamins of the Day. I buy 2 proteins and 3 calciums. I'm going to be using an equal amount of special and physical moves, and with Swinub's attack stat being god-awful, I need both of them to be very good. Well, at least it's good as it's gonna get. Now it's time for Rival 4. I just spam everything with Rock Slide, Dig, and Powder Snow. His Gyarados is a 2-hit with Rock Slide, but it's fine for now since at this point he only has Thrash and Bite. But later at the champion fight, this thing's gonna have Hydro Pump, which will not be good at all. During the fight though, I learned Mist over Secret Power. If you watched my Kanto Birds versus race in Leafgreen, you know how good this move is. It is basically a guard spec and can help prevent Intimidate, Sand Attacks, Tail Whips, and the such. Very useful in certain fights. After sending the Marowak to hell by figuratively freezing it with powder snow, but I don't really freeze it because I get unlucky, I defeat the Rocket Grunts and rescue Mr. Fuji from their grasps and obtain the Poke Flute, which means it's time to do the Safari Zone crap. On Cycling Road, I get the rare candy and max elixir like usual, and in the Safari Zone I get the full restore, protein, gold teeth, and surf. I use the protein on Swinub and fly to Saffron City. It's time to do Silphco, and I haven't even fought Erika or Koga yet. Erika is still too difficult due to Razor Leaf, and Dig is too weak to take out Koga's poison types. It doesn't help out only his Muck can be hit with ground moves due to Levitate, and that thing is bulky and has Minimize, which is like Double Team. Anyway, in Silphco, I go on the long grind of defeating every trainer in the building. I also collect a ton of items in here as well. Some will be used on Swinub, while others will be sold to get a TM from the game corner. The items I got are the protein on the 3rd floor, iron and escape rope on the 4th floor, the protein and PP up on the 5th floor, the carbos and HP up on floor 6, the 7th floor zinc and calcium, the 8th floor iron and nugget, the 9th floor calcium, the 10th floor carbos and rare candy, and finally the 11th floor zinc. Man, I often forget how many vitamins are in this building. However though, after defeating all the trainers in here except for the ones past Rival 5, I only have room for 1 vitamin, so I choose the protein since I only bought 2 of them at the mart, but 3 calciums. With all this done, I healed the 9th floor heal bed, which actually does exist in Gen 1 too, and I battle Rival 5. During the long Silphco grind, I had taught Blizzard over Powder Snow. While Blizzard is only 75% accurate, it is better than a 40 base power ice move using my weaker special attack. Anyway, his Pidgeot and Execute go down in 1 Blizzard, and his Charizard and Gyarados go down with Rock Slide. And I used 2 digs on Alakazam since Rock Slide does have the chance to miss, so I didn't want to risk it. I luckily win the fight first try too. Also, all those extra resets you see were from random trainers in here since Swinub is still an awful Pokemon. Now, normally Giovanni is a pushover, but not here. I have to defeat his Nidorino with 1 dig, but if I get poisoned, I reset. I then have to defeat his Nidoqueen with 2 digs, which can pack a punch with Body Slam, and I have to use dig and Blizzard spam on everything else. This fight ends up taking 9 tries due to bad poison luck. I did have a Pecha Berry equipped for some of the attempts, but the problem is that 2 of his Pokemon have Poison Point, so this is one of the more luck-dependent fights in the entire run. After finally giving Silphco the much-deserved property damage for keeping me trapped in here so damn long, I buy some more Hyper Potions at the local mart since I'd ran out of Super Potions, and then I sell all the valuables I had on me. Now, with the money, I go to the game corner and buy 4,000 coins, which cost 80,000 Poké-Dollars, which allows me to buy the TM for Ice Beam. Swinub cannot rely on the inaccuracies of Blizzard, and since Swinub has to do the self-grind anyway for the money, it makes sense to get this move. You know, I kinda like how in Gen 1, while Ice Beam and Thunderbolt are given to you, in the remakes you have to work hard to get these moves. With my better moveset, I defeat the Cool Trainer and Erika in the gym with Ice Beam, and then go to Koga's gym and spam Ice Beam on everyone. I do use Dig on Muck to prevent a heal by putting it in red health. And on Weezing, Mist gets its first and only use, as I use it to prevent Smokescreen while I use Ice Beam to kill it. At level 49, which I'm currently at, Ice Beam is arranged to be a 2-hit, which is why I do this. After doing 2 back-to-back gyms, I get Strength, get the Boulder Candy, and go to the Cinnabar Mansion. I get the Braden Rare Candy as well as the TM for Blizzard for much later, and then I get the key and dig out. But I actually don't fight Blaine yet. While I could fight him now at this level, the problem is that I need a higher level for Giovanni, then Rival 6, and then for different members of the Elite Four. So what I've been doing to save time is to combine all late game biker grinds into one long grind instead of 3 separate shorter biker grinds, which can result in slower times. I buy some antidotes and super potions at the Celadon department store, and I do the biker grind until... level 92 after rare candies. No, I am not you. The later fights are so freaking hard, especially Bruno. If you want to know why Bruno is hard for ice types, go watch my Celio run. With this high level accomplished, as well as learning Amnesia over Mist to help against the special attackers, I go on a killing spree. I defeat Sabrina by spamming Dig, as well as with Blaine. On the final Giovanni battle, I spam Ice Beam. With the Earth Badge obtained, I get access to Swinub's actual best physical move, Earthquake, which after Stab is a 150 base power move, so I teach it over Dig and defeat Rival 6 with ease. Pidgeot and Execute go down to 1 Ice Beam, and Gyarados in 2 Rock Slides, but Charizard, however, is arranged to die in 1 hit. This should hopefully explain why all these levels were necessary. Because if Charizard survives a Rock Slide, it can easily take me out with Flamethrower. Then, after Charizard, Rhyhorn and Alakazam all go down with Ice Beam and Earthquake. Okay, now for the pre-league talk. The reason these levels were needed is due to Swinub's weakness to water and fighting moves. In the remakes, if you're weak to fighting types, Bruno is an absolute nightmare. Plus, Agatha's Pokemon mostly have Levitate or are immune to ground moves like Golbat, so Earthquake isn't even an option with her. With all that talk out of the way, let's get to the league. I arrive at the league, heal at the center, buy some full restores, and then battle the final 5 trainers. Let's do this shit! On Lorelei, I take down her Dewgong with 2 Rock Slides, and then out comes Slowbro. On it, I use Earthquake. I then take out her Cloyster and Lapras with 2 Rock Slides, and Jinx went down to 1 Earthquake. On Bruno, I spam Ice Beam the entire fight. His Onix are very easy to take out, but the Hitmons are 2 hits. But the good news is, even if Hitmonchan uses Rock Tomb, I still outspeed everything else, since at 200 speed, my speed after a Rock Tomb is 134, which still outspeeds everything. This was another reason for the high level. On Agatha, I have the Chesto Berry equipped in case of Hypnosis, and on her first Gengar I use 2 Ice Beams, reset if it uses Toxic, which did happen once, and then take her Arbok down with Earthquake and then Ice Beam everything else. On Lance, his Gyarados knows no water moves, which is pretty good, so I take it out with 2 Rock Slides and then Ice Beam everything else. Finally, the champion. On the champion, Ice Beam takes out Pidgeot and Exeggutor again, and on Gyarados it can die in 2 Rock Slides, but it is still a range. In order to die in 2 Rock Slides, I need a medium to high roll. However, I get unlucky and the champion ends up full restoring Gyarados twice, but luckily Rock Slide flinches and I never get hit once, so that was pretty lucky. Charizard isn't arranged this time, thank God, and then Alakazam and Rhydon go down in 1 hit, and Swinub achieves a final time of 3 hours, 45 minutes, and 59 seconds, and a final game time at the Hall of Fame of 9 hours and 29 minutes. This run was definitely not good at all, with 25 resets, but it was miles better than Poochyena in my opinion, who had to be level 100, mostly due to Bruno and Poochyena's very limited move pool. However though, facts don't care about my feelings. If we look at the leaderboard, Swinub actually got 4 minutes slower than Poochyena and a much larger game time, despite Poochyena needing to be level 100, which I found quite interesting. Usually more resets leads to a smaller game time, but I guess not this time. But we're not done yet. It is time for our bonus segment of the Speedrun Analysis. For Pokemon Leafgreen, we're going to be fighting the second round of the Elite Four, who all have much better teams, including higher levels, and even some Johto Pokemon mixed in there. This part is unrouted, so this was all a blind attempt, which these will all be from now on. But first, in order to get to the second round of the Elite Four, I have to do the entire Sevi Island side quest. I have to catch 60 Pokemon caught in the Pokedex to access the second part of the quest, only available after the champion fight. But I just used PK Hex to do that, since I need to get these videos out, you know? Plus, these parts aren't a part of the leaderboard, so it's fine. The Sevi Island side quest includes rescuing Lost Hell from the pedo Hypno that many creepypastas talk about, as well as get Celio the Ruby and Sapphire to unlock trade with Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. However, we're doing this to get the Elite Four rematch to open. I won't talk about every detail in here since it's not important. Let's go do this shit all over again. On Lorelei, her Dewgong is level 64. I have the Never Melt Ice I got from the Ice Cavern on 4 Island, which will boost Ice Beam by 10%. Remember, all these fights are blind, so I did not route this out. Anyway, on Dewgong, I set up an Amnesia and used 2 Rock Slides. One of them flinches, so that's good. I continue the Rock Slide trend and get more flinches. On Lapras, I use Earthquake twice to KO Lapras, and then use Earthquake on Pillow Swine, and then it uses Rock Slide, but I live on 4 hit points left. And then Jinx goes down with 1 Earthquake for the win. Dang, this fight was really lucky. But hey, I'm not complaining. Now for Bruno. His 2 Onix have evolved into Steelix, so they can tank an Earthquake. They do even get a Rock Tomb on me, but I live pretty easily. But then an Iron Tail puts me into red, and even if I defeat the Steelix, the Hitmonchan has Mach Punch to move first and take me out. I tried this fight so many times, but this level just would not work. So I came back to this fight at level 100, since I can't go any higher than this. If things get bad, I can use Double Team, but I'll hold off on that unless I absolutely need it. While grinding and getting more rare candies to get to 100, I got the Leftovers Held item. You can only get it when you use the item finder on the spot Snorlax was blocking the path. It isn't a hidden item, it's a buried item, so the item finder is needed. You get it from the Oak 8 on Route 9 after you catch 30 Pokemon, which I legitimately did, and I gave it to Swinub. This helps Swinub recover 1/16 of its HP every turn. I wish I had access to this item in the actual runs, but I won't be able to unless I want to legitimately catch 30 Pokemon, which I don't. Agatha was actually the easiest Elite Four member. I just spam Rock Slide on her Ghost to take advantage of my higher attack and their lowered defenses. And then I use Earthquake on Arbok, and then Rock Slide on Crobat. On her Mischievous, I just use Ice Beam. This was the only Elite Four member I beat first try, which was quite nice. I did technically beat Lorelei first try, but that was before I was level 100, so that doesn't count. On Lance, I use Rock Slide on Gyarados. It still doesn't have any water moves, which is still very nice. And then on Kingdra, I use Earthquake for the 3-hit. It then retaliates with Surf, which does so much damage. But I take out his Dragonite with Ice Beam, and Aerodactyl with a nice bit. You son of a bitch! After multiple attempts, I kept dying to Lance, so I decided now was the time for Attract. I used Attract to make it only a 50-50 chance that his Pokemon will land a hit. On the first attempt I do this, I arrive at Aerodactyl with full HP, so I survive an Earthquake and then take out his Aerodactyl and his second Dragonite for the win. Now, for the champion, one last time. On the champion, he sends out Heracross. I use Earthquake on it, but then it uses Rock Tomb to lower my speed, and then knocks me out with Mega Horn. This is definitely a better lead than Pidgeot, especially since it can screw me with Counter. I use Attract on it and KO it with Ice Beam. Exeggutor is still a one-hit with Ice Beam, thank God, and then on Gyarados I use Attract, but it breaks through and uses a Hydro Pump, but I live at 15 HP. But it doesn't matter since I miss Rock Slide and die the next turn. I'll just skip to the winning attempt. On the winning attempt, I actually taught Double Team over Earthquake since I still need Ice Beam and Rock Slide. On Heracross, I used Attract and defeated with Ice Beam. On Exeggutor, I use Attract and set up Double Team on it since its worst move is Giga Drain, and I have the leftovers to heal that back up. On Gyarados, I use Attract and then defeat it with 3 Rock Slides, but it takes more than that due to a full restore. Charizard goes down in 2 Rock Slides as I dodge each one of his Fire Blasts, so I guess Double Team was necessary just because of Charizard. On Tyranitar, I use Ice Beam for the knockout, and on Alakazam, I use Rock Slide and Ice Beam for the knockout, and achieve a second time of 4 hours, 46 minutes, and 55 seconds, and a game time of 11 hours, 46 minutes, and 9 seconds. I know you can't see the tens place in the hours, but most of the run never gets to that length, so it's not a big deal to me as I don't want to shrink the numbers to make it all fit. Doing round 2 for these Leafgreen runs was definitely a lot of fun. I haven't seen this round 2 team in years since I played casually the out of this game. I'm not ashamed to call this my favorite Pokemon remake. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Pokemon Speedrun Analysis series. The next episode will be Pokemon Emerald with Skiploom. We'll be doing another grass type since they seem to mostly do pretty well in Hoenn. Can't wait to see how this goes. I wonder what the Emerald bonus segment will be. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next speedrun.